Today, I am going to be asking my husband questions that girls are too afraid to ask. Does it feel different after giving birth? What is the most attractive feature and quality of a woman? What's the hardest part about being a man that a woman might not realize? Welcome back, guys. This is episode 4 of the Dicksons, and today I am going to be asking my husband questions that girls are too afraid to ask.
Yes, the first one where she is in charge. It might be a bit more of me talking since she's asking the questions, but it'll be the first one where she is in charge of the content, the questions. So this is actually like your first.
My debut.
Yeah, like your first, like I'm making the content. Mm-hmm. I'm choosing the dialogue.
And I hope I looked into the camera well.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. So as your first technical intro, technically not first because, tech issues. We've had to do a couple of these, but
First one of this didn't record.
Yeah. So we're on to episode 4. If you've made it through 4 episodes or you stumbled upon this one and it's your first, subscribe to the channel and maybe check out the other videos because they are bangers.
Yeah, they are.
They're great. It's like we've been doing this our whole lives.
Hope so.
Yeah. She's going to jump right into the questions.
Right into it.
We got some interesting stuff to talk about at the end of the episode, more future content. If this is the first one you're catching, the first 2 videos kind of given details of like who we are, what our story is. But this is probably going to be more common to what the future of the content's going to be is more conversational based questions. Future ones will be about parenting, different content. Like it's kind of going to be about everything. It's just going to be like lifestyles podcast. Yeah. There might be one where we're talking about your book series. I don't know.
I hope so.
Harry Potter or ACOTAR. Choose one.
Oh man, that's hard.
No, that's for another video. Go ahead. Ask away.
How important is physical appearance?
Ooh, very important. And then it scales down in importance. Yeah. So, like when I first saw you, did it matter to me that you seemed like a good, like kind person? Sure, absolutely. But like,
that's not the first thing.
Like, yeah, that wasn't the first like 6 things I was thinking when I saw you, right?
6.
Yeah. Like the face is important, facial features are important, hair is important, right? I prefer long hair.
It was very short then.
Yeah, but very short for you was like still like below shoulder length. Like it was like right here.
It was like right here.
Nope.
Really?
It was like if it was back, it was going like to your shoulders. Yeah. It wasn't, like a, whatever those. Yeah.
That was what it was like before I met you.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Fast forward, like rewind a year.
Or I'm lucky, but so you had all the aesthetics I was looking for, and those were the most important thing. As we've grown throughout our 15 years, you don't look the way you did 15 years ago. I don't look the way I did 15 years ago, but I can tell you that we've both grown up with a generation of people, and I can just say, without comparing, because it's meaningless to compare, and it's also kind of mean that I am still very often reminded, like, thank God I chose you.
You're welcome. And
so
right back at you.
Yeah, so like 15 years later, if there was like a time machine and I was able to look at what you look like now 15 years later, after 2 kids and everything, I would just be like, nice.
All right.
So yes, it does still matter. It just, is going to matter less. 15 years from now, we're going to be old. We're not going to be as good looking as we are right now. So I mean, like, will it matter as much? Of course not.
And my standards for going out in public have dropped drastically.
Yeah, but that's not because of time. That's just because kids. That's just like, this is what I got.
The people at the gas station, school drop off, and people that like come work on our house, they see me at my absolute worst. You're welcome.
Yep. Like leggings, sweatshirt, no bra, and a winter coat.
Yeah. And the hair is just always doing something crazy.
Yep.
Like just wake out of bed, put it in a claw clip.
Yep.
Not looking. Let's go. Coffee in here.
It's all good.
Oh yeah, my turn. Do men think our periods are gross?
Not. I would say unless you have a weird thing about blood, nobody should care about periods.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a part of life.
Maybe it's because I grew up with women my whole life. Like, I went to my dad's on the weekends, but otherwise I was with my mom and my sister. My sister always had friends over, so I was just around women all the time, so it was never weird to me. I could see how if maybe you hadn't dated a lot or you weren't around women a lot growing up, it could be taboo or almost just like intimidating, but it's just blood.
Just buy the damn tampons and pads.
Yeah, like don't feel weird about going into a store. Like if you're planning on having kids, don't be a dad that's not involved. I'm not saying you have to pursue conversations with your daughter about her periods or anything like that, but like
don't be like, oh my God, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, at least be available for the conversation. Maybe the mom isn't always available for the conversation, or maybe for whatever reason you have a daughter who just wants to confide in the dad and get a different perspective. Who knows? But at least be available for the conversation. So they're not gross.
Right.
I mean, like, it sucks y'all have to deal with them.
Yeah, like
the idea of them is inherently gross from your aspect of like what you have to deal with. Sure,
I
but
think
like
it's fucking gross.
Right, but I mean, like from like a me to you, it's just like no, it's just part of life.
Good job. Is the whole if he wanted to, he would actually true?
I have a really interesting idea about this because it annoys me. So yes, it's true. If he wanted to, he would. But context is important. Comparing is always bad.
Yeah.
So right now, if you were to make a bunch of TikToks about if he wanted to, he would, and mention all of the great things I do, you could. And any girl online who is currently with a husband who, let's say, is still a decent husband, not a piece of shit, but like he's decent, but maybe there's just some things that I excel at that maybe he's not thinking of, or maybe whatever it is. All that's going to do is make you be like, well, my husband doesn't do that. And then there's nothing healthy about that. And anybody can do it. And just like right now, I said, we have a pretty healthy relationship. I do a lot for you. You do a lot for me. You could make videos, like I had just said, that you could say, look, girls, if you wanted to, he would. And you could name a bunch of things that I do.
Yeah.
But
And
at
then
the
there's
same
probably
time,
stuff that other men are doing that you don't do.
You could go on TikTok right now and find the same thing. Oh, he buys her flowers every Monday, and he tells her she's beautiful every morning and sends her like a hope you have a good day and makes her coffee in the morning. And like there's like a variety of things that person is doing that you could be like, well, Chris doesn't.
Yeah.
And you could find a reason to be upset, or you could find a reason to appreciate what they are doing. I just like, it's just like, I feel like these are geared towards the guys that don't put in any effort.
Yeah.
But guys that are just kind of get caught in the crosshairs. I just don't feel like it's healthy to ever be online comparing your life to somebody else's.
Right. It's kind of a toxic way to think.
Because you're going to be going online with the if he wanted to, he would trend. You're going to be going online and you're only going to be comparing every guy is going to have great aspects about what they do for their partner and then ones where they're lacking. I am not great at
reassurance,
affection, reassurance. Yeah. Like there's just things that I'm not great at that you could then find videos that are tailored to like, he talks me through this, tells me how great I am, tells me how beautiful I am every morning. And it's not that like I don't say those things or put an effort into that aspect, but maybe that person does it in a better way. And you could find reasons to be upset and be like, that is true. If my husband wanted to, he would. So he's just doesn't then, right? So that means he doesn't want to. And it's like, that's not true.
I mean, if we're talking the bare minimum, like if we're saying if he wanted to just treat you decent, he would, like that's
the issue. Yeah. The issue is that like it creates generalizations of like, it could definitely be meant for men who just aren't putting in any effort into the relationship at all, for sure. But the issue is it's not about who the video is meant for. It's about who sees it. So it's like, if you took an entire month of just like all these great things these guys do, this specific thing in this specific relationship, and just constantly compared it to me while also not actively being like, but my husband does do these things, you're just going to create a like pathway in your head to feeling like I'm inadequate from what I'm offering to you.
It's basically like, just don't compare.
Don't compare. You can do a healthy amount of comparing as long as you are also actively comparing yourself in your relationship to people that you have it better than as well. The same way if it was just like another girl to another girl, like just take relationships out of it. If you were only comparing your life to people who you thought had a better life, that is just a recipe for unhappiness. Right. With yourself. So it doesn't even have anything to do with a partner at that point. It would just be another recipe for you feeling like, oh, I'm inadequate, I don't get these things, or I don't look that way, or comparing yourself to people that you think look better than you, or comparing yourself to people that you think have a better life than you. It just is going to make you unhappy. But again, It's still true.
Yeah.
It's still true. And it's, like we talked about last episode where it was like, if I stopped trying, I have to keep trying every day and recognize what my faults are and try and work on them a little bit. But try and make up for the areas that I lack in by excelling in other areas. That's just how it's going to be. So, yeah, the answer to your question is yes, but I just feel like people need to be responsible with how they use these. If he wanted to, he would trends, because I just feel like it's just going to make people unhappy.
Agreed. Is it hard being with someone less mentally stable than you?
I feel like it's a bad way to ask it, but like,
is it hard
more
being
emotional
with someone with a mental illness or depression or?
Yeah, for sure.
I felt like I was trying to be a little
nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you were with somebody who had bipolar disorder, if you had somebody with like major depressive disorder or an anxiety disorder, would that be for sure be harder? Absolutely. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that person is less valuable to the other person as a partner. It doesn't mean anything like that, but it was for sure be harder.
Yeah.
Like
I mean more so like my kind of unstable, like more emotional,
it's like the same way I was just talking about, like excelling in certain areas. Like, you might not have the personality traits that I respect and admire and want without also getting like the
have it all.
Yeah, like the over emotionalness or whatever terminology you would want to use maybe comes from being just majorly empathetic / people pleasing, and maybe those give you some very good traits as a wife and as a mother and all these things that I respect, but they also come with a toll that I have to deal with, which is fine. It doesn't make it harder. But if it was like if your postpartum moments where it's just like no matter what happens, it's a dark ass day. Like, I just not good. I'm just really not good right now. If that persisted to the point where I can't help it, that for sure would be devastating to me as a partner, as a man. Like, my job is to actively increase the difficulty of my life to make yours and the people around me less difficult. And I don't need help doing it. It's like when my dad died, like when you were like, I need to be there for you. And I was like, I don't need you here for this. Right. And you were just like, this is what I need. Right. And that has nothing to do with your question, but it just made me think about it because I'm ranting. It's like, it's a good trait you have, but it's like, I need to go through this and process it in the way I do. And you desperately wanted to be there.
Yeah. I didn't want you to have to go through it alone.
Yeah. But and I don't speak for all men on this, but I think a lot of men do feel like this. When I'm going through stuff, like hard stuff on a daily basis, like I don't need help in terms of like, I don't want you to have to worry about money or worry about the stresses that I deal with daily or the stuff I'm going through. I need to lock that down so that way you live as in a comfortable bubble, like kind of like what we try to provide for the kids, where it's just like, don't worry, the world isn't awful, right? Money concern. Like I'm actively trying to make it so you don't have to worry about anything. And if you, no matter what, did worry and were upset and there was nothing I could do, that would definitely affect me and my ability to be as content in life, which would definitely make it harder. So like, I would feel like a failure if like they're like, because it would be internal at that point. And no matter how much external effort or whatever, like when people are depressed and they have depressive disorders or anxiety disorders, I can't talk you through these things. That's why therapy, medication, et cetera, exist for people who do have these diagnosed disorders. It would for sure be very hard to navigate in a relationship. I mean, relationships are hard already.
Right.
Add in something to where like, no matter what you do and no matter what I do, we can't make you content or at least like happy with your day. Like, yeah, there's no way. Even for somebody like me who I'm not really affected by other people's moods all that much. Like I'm
extremely affected. Like it's exhausting being an empathetic, like easily not manipulated, but impressionable.
Yeah, it's
I
like
guess.
it's like if you have like it takes a lot. Like you need to have a really rough day for me to be like, okay, like you're really starting to take this out on me. I don't really think this is fair or what. It takes a lot.
Mhm.
Like you have to have a really really rough day for me to even be like, okay, we need to talk because like
Mm-hmm.
we can't keep having these type of interactions. It's not healthy, and for you to right.
Yeah.
So it's like if that was like an everyday thing and there's like nothing I could do, that would be very tough.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't want it to sound like bad towards anyone with a mental illness. I think I was more so thinking of like my stuff.
I mean, it's like all encompassing. It's like there's diagnosed anxiety disorders, and then there's just like anxiety that people deal with like struggles they have going on in life. And I don't think your question is disrespectful by any means. It's just
Okay.
it's just saying like from a guy's standpoint, somebody relatively less emotional or maybe more emotionally stable. What is it like?
Yeah.
Dating and working with somebody through it. I don't mind working through it with you on a daily basis. That's what I signed up
Thanks.
for. But I don't think there's any easier or harder, but like I said, if somebody did have an actual like diagnosable disorder, it would for sure be harder to navigate. But
Mm-hmm. We'd still do it though.
Yep.
I feel like that's a good part to add in a different question that kind of made me think of the last one that we did. What's the hardest part about being a man that a woman might not realize?
Probably the fact that there's a major shift in our culture right now condemning men as a whole.
Yes.
We recognize there are a lot of shitty men out there.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of men, especially because the internet is always feeding us information, and especially because we're raising a son, I don't want him to grow up. I hope things resolve by then culturally, but I don't want him growing up in an era where he's hated for the fact that he's a man.
Yeah.
When he's just trying to navigate his own manhood and figure out what type of man he's supposed to be, right?
Mm-hmm. Men get so much hate.
They do, but like it's the issue that's like it's like some of it's warranted, but we talk way too much in generalizations. And when men have been, or when people have been slighted by men so many times, it creates a frustrating aspect of how you interact with future ones. And then there are the good guys who just get caught in the crosshairs.
Yeah, they give the good guys a bad
Right.
name.
So it's like, how do you navigate life? Coming up as a man, figuring out who you want to be, figuring out what your role is in society, what your role is to another person. And I think it's just the fact that like women don't understand the struggles men go through, but aren't expected to. It's so hard to explain. Men go through so many struggles, and society deems it acceptable that nobody's supposed to care.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares when the kids are taken away from a dad.
Yeah.
Nobody cares when, like what happens post-divorce. Nobody cares about what happens, especially for father rights. Like that's one that probably bothers me the most. But even for young men that aren't parents yet, it's just, I want good men to be uplifted while still accepting that we can condemn the actions of all the other men that are shitty.
It seems easy, but
It does, but it's like, it's so like, you're not going to, like, as an example, like of all the interactions you've had with men in your life, you don't remember the 1 million examples of a guy you just ran into, paid you no mind. Oh, yep, sorry, held the door and then just, or whatever, right? Just went on your way. But you will remember the one where like, I didn't feel comfortable right there, or
sure.
I didn't feel, and it's just how the brain works. You're not going to remember the thousands of men you interact with often that are just doing their own thing and would probably help you if you needed help and would put their lives on the line to help you if you needed help, just a random stranger. And I think there are so many acts of men that go unnoticed because it's just par for the course. And I think people are more likely to remember the negative interactions they had with some men.
Yeah.
And that makes them standoffish about other men. And that sucks for those men that are just trying to coexist and feel wanted or accepted regardless of what they can provide or regardless of what they can
And it's so much easier for me having an example of a good man to acknowledge that there are more good men out there. It's like, oh yeah, I do believe that there are good men because I have one. But for
Right.
someone that's never seen a good man,
Because that's the issue too, is like we see your friends in the dating scene and stuff like that, or whatever, and we just see constantly just bad examples.
Yeah.
Cheating, lying, and just overall just like not great
Yeah.
dudes. And I might even acquiesce and say that, like, maybe the good men out there aren't the majority, but we gotta find a way to not, I mean, it's always a conversation I have on stream on a daily basis. It is, we need to find a way to not generalize people in general.
Right.
There are bad people in every group. There are good people in every group.
Right.
And it does nothing by speaking in generalizations to be like all men or
Right.
all women or all any race, all any religion. It's just not good to speak in that way, because you by proxy, even accidentally, are condemning people who just want a shot at being a good person.
Right.
And not giving them the chance is not going to help anybody. So
Yep. All right. Do you believe in gender roles in a relationship?
I believe in roles in a relationship. I think roles are immeasurably important. I don't think it really has to do by gender. I know dads who are the stay-at-home, like, what's the terminology used? Like the primary parent or whatever.
Yeah, the default parent.
The default, like, right, like they are that, and then the girl works and it works out. I've seen it work. But I think there's something to be said about what men and women find attractive in each other. And I do think women more often than men find men attractive who can provide, who are stable, who are driven, who are confident, and those things lead to careers. And I think it's more likely that women would opt to choose to stay home with the kids if they could, rather than men. So it's like a preference thing, but I don't think it has to be the woman stays home. But I do think there does need to be roles. Like, there needs to be not both hands in one pot and then also trying to manage this. Like, for us, it's like we have a very traditional, probably as traditional as it can get.
Yes.
Like, I bring in the money, I take care of all the bills, I take care of any payments, I take care of
any of that works.
I take
just
care of all
spend it.
yeah, I take care of all retirement. I take care of any of that. You don't worry about any of that. You don't worry about anything to do with safety. You don't worry about anything to do with where life's heading. You just worry about maintaining the house.
Keeping the kids alive.
Yes.
Making them
And
happy.
did we plan that? No.
Yeah.
Was that even ever a conversation? No. It was, we were both working.
I planned on going back to work too, and it just didn't.
And then it was, we had kids. You were making a good amount. I was making a good amount. I took the full 6 weeks off when we had our kid. No shame in it.
I took
Take
so
your
many
time
weeks off.
You took the full 16.
It was a long time.
Yeah, you took 4 months off.
And then I was like, bye.
Yeah, I remember we had the conversation. I was like, we were looking at, other people watching like our kids, and it was just like, like daycares or just whatever. And it was just like, you can just stay home if you want. I'll just figure out money.
And Liam wouldn't eat. He wouldn't eat from a bottle. So
he wouldn't take a bottle.
That was like the
He's
main
a boob
factor,
man
I think.
already. So no, I don't think it has to be roles by gender. Yeah. But I do think when you see people talk about gender roles, it's because of what men and women find attractive. Like, for me, I don't care if you were a lawyer or a doctor or whatever you did. You being driven, cool, it's a good trait. Don't dislike it, but it's not important to me. And I feel like it's more important to women, not because of the actual money factor, but I feel like just the ability to provide is an attractive quality that women place more value in, whether subconsciously or not. If they're like, I do want time home with the kids during like their younger years, and I do want to go back to work, nothing wrong with it, or I want to stay at home, I think at least having the option that can be provided for them is a healthy aspiration for the man. And I think, like I said, the other traits that come along with that, like being driven, being confident, and being able to provide for your family, is an attractive quality. So it's something that, like, I take value in. I think men, and and I can't speak for women, obviously, but this is why this conversation is happening, are driven by purpose. Like, I need a purpose. And if that purpose was staying home with the kids, that's fine. But my purpose was giving you guys a life that I think anybody would want. Don't have to work, don't have to do whatever. Still tough, staying at home with the kids, managing 2 toddlers and whatnot. It's hectic. It never ends. But I still think being able to provide that option to you is a purpose that I found value in.
Yeah, almost every woman or mom I know would want to stay home if they could.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure for like with the equality conversations nowadays where it's like you can, as a woman, pursue a career, get a good job, be a CEO, all these different things. You have the equal opportunity to nowadays. But just because you have the opportunity to doesn't mean you have to want the same things. I feel like that's where it starts to get misconstrued. Like, you can, I think at this point, girls are graduating on a much higher, from college, graduating on a much higher basis than men are right now. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Yeah. But you don't have to want to. You don't have to. If you want to stay home with kids, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, there's I have gotten,
I've gotten so many questions of, okay, the kids are both in school, you're going back to work, what are you going to do? And I'm just like, I just want to chill for a bit.
Well, you've even asked me
forever.
You've even asked me, like, what, like, should I get another job and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And that's the exact testament to how I know that you don't know anything about the financial situation. I'll just be like, oh, yeah, we got to cut back a little bit on some spending because, we've spent a lot the past 3 or 4 months and, I need to re-budget and reassess my budget. And you're just like, do I need to get a job? And I'm like, no, you don't need to get a job. Like, I would have to fail in content for like 2 full years before I'd ever even consider being like, and even then I would probably just go get a different job then.
Yeah.
My job is to make it so you never have to work again a day in your life. I would opt to, okay, I have to go back to a management career or something like that before you ever actually have to go back to work. But I'm not going to fail. So my first job was making sure you never have to work again a day in your life. My second job is to make sure I can somehow make a living doing what I love. So instead of you going and being back in a vision center, I can just have you do this. And now this is kind of work. Yep. Just hanging out, talking to me about
I'd much rather do
life and gender roles and gender roles and marriage. So no, either way, long story short, it doesn't have to be a specific gender. If you want to be the woman that has the career and then also juggles the kids and stuff like that. We know one of your friends, Allie, who realting and teaching, and he does something and she has a great career. Like,
they're so successful.
Yeah, like it works. And we know another group of friends, again, still married, healthy relationship. He takes care of the kid and she works and it works. So no, I don't think gender roles, but I do think roles for sure.
Yeah.
If you don't have roles and there's too many people working on too many different things and you're both of you are trying to like bring in the money and like have separate accounts and like one account pays this and then the other pays that, but like you're spending, I'm not keeping track of it. Now we're in debt. Like,
yeah, it's too hard.
No, there has to be roles for sure. But I don't think a lot of people at Walmart actually that I worked with that were women, managed the finances and whatnot. Like they both worked, but they were the ones who navigated the account, paid the bills.
It sounds awful.
It's not entirely fun. I've always enjoyed numbers, but,
yeah.
Like I literally don't mind when I sit over there and I do like all the taxes, writing down, adding up every single expense, and
interesting.
I can see what came in, what went out. That's why sometimes I'm like, yo, stop for a minute.
Okay.
Just cut back a little bit for a month or two.
Mobby.
Yeah, just spending a little bit too much. It's all right though, but that's the goal. Like that's the life I feel like I would want to provide. Where you're just like, I just spend whatever until he says, "Hey," I just spend whatever until he goes, "Yeah, chill for like 6 or 7 weeks if you can."
Yes.
But I mean, to be fair, you do check with me about like any like big. I'm gonna get this, all right, and I don't.
Right.
If I were to say over the past 4 years of even creating content for a living, how many times I've been like, nah, maybe 5 or 10. Well, always okay, dog, yeah, but that's more or less because I would like anybody.
We'd go crazy. I couldn't do a puppy right now, but I
No,
want
just
one.
that's just about the time. Like, do I have the time I would want to invest into a pet right now? And it's just
Yeah.
like I don't have the time. The money's not the issue, but it's just like I feel like the only times I've even been like no is more or less just because it's like I just don't feel like we need that as a purchase.
Yeah, fair
We
enough.
could afford it, but it's like, hey, can we get this new $1,200 swing set in the backyard? I'm like, they have the swing set now. That's back there, and it's like, yeah, it could be better, but we live like literally 2 minutes away from like a giant playground. Which once I'm like in my head, it's like they're gonna play with this for like a month, but then they're gonna go, can we go to the playground?
Yeah.
And every time. So I'm like, I don't want to spend that on that.
True.
So it's not even about the money at that point. It's just like, I just don't want to spend money on that. Right? Like in my head, it's just
Yeah.
like every time we spend money like that, I'm like, I could just have put that in a retirement account and gotten, like $4,000 off that
logical.
$1,200 over like a couple 5-10 year period. That's how my mind works all the time. It's just constantly just thinking about numbers and money and what's coming in and what's going out. So that's another thing. I'm going to answer a question that you didn't ask. Is like, what are dudes thinking about when they're just like staring out the window? It's a whole bunch of random stuff. And then when you ask them and they're like, nothing, I promise you they're not trying to hide the fact that they were thinking about some actress naked. Like, I promise you it's not that. I mean, maybe some do, but like, I promise you most of the time they're thinking about something stupid, like some funny meme they saw, or they're thinking about like money or what they need to do tomorrow or anything. Like I'll just be sitting there and I'll be thinking about like, okay, we spent this much on the podcast and like this much of it is like written off for next year's taxes. But if we make this amount, and then you're like, what are you thinking about? And I'm like, nothing. Mostly just because I don't want to describe just everything that's just going through my mind. Because either A, it's really boring, or B, it's really stupid. It's like I was thinking about what would happen, if like the next set of, Marvel movies comes out. Like what's going to happen if like they bring back Iron Man? Will I want Robert Downey Jr. to be playing Iron Man and Doctor Doom at the same time? And then like, will that affect? And then it's just like, I don't want to, I don't want to like run you through that narrative that just went through in my brain. But like, that's what I'm thinking about. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
So if
enough.
you guys ever ask, I promise you probably 90% of the time we're thinking about just something either really dumb or really boring. One of those
Good
two
to know.
things. Don't worry.
What is the most attractive feature and quality of a woman?
Ooh. This is like a boobs or butt
Yeah.
conversation. And for me, genuinely, it's like it depends on the day and it depends on like what you're wearing. It could be both. It could just be today I'm feeling this, and then like the next. It's actually for me, it's kind of just like if you're walking away from me, it's that, and if you're walking towards me, it's this. To be honest, but I'm trying to think. Like I'm just daydreaming about what I just said, but like it's it's yeah. So physical traits, all the above, please.
Thank you.
And personality traits, it's like kindness is very important. I can't do people who are mean for no reason, especially to people who don't deserve it.
Yeah.
It's not like like if you were mean to somebody who's mean to you, don't care at all. It's more
If
so
you're
like
mean to the server, you suck.
if you're mean to the server, if you're mean to the retail worker, if you're just like, if I need to be like, yo, stop.
Like if I'm embarrassed to be with you, that's
Yeah,
a problem.
like, yeah, no, that's going to be a major turnoff. And that will, even though we were talking about how important looks are, you can remove yourself from consideration entirely with certain aspects like that. Like I would immediately don't care about the boobs or the butt. It might be hard. Maybe if it was like, like first week, it's gonna be like, maybe I can let this one slide. Right. But like, no, that would just be a major turnoff to where I just wouldn't even be interested, to be honest.
Yeah.
There'd be more than kind, but kind's important. Kind and no, I mean, that's what my mind went to. So we're going to go with that answer. Kind is very important apparently. So
Yeah. All right. Well, then we'll play on what are the deal breakers?
Oh, deal breakers.
Let me pick up my list.
There's no physical attribute deal breaker wise.
No, I didn't mean that.
No, but it's a reasonable thing. I mean, this isn't going to be all men because everything is subjective So this is obviously just to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of short hair, obviously, as you know. Outside of that, there are no limiting factors. But if somebody had short hair, that might make me just less interested.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why. Nothing wrong with people with short hair, but just my personal preference. For personality traits, there's like a lot. And that's probably how like the internet can tell right now, like how great of a partner you are, is I have a long list of what was the word? Red flag or
deal breakers.
Deal breakers.
Yeah.
Like, not interested if smoking, not interested if like heavy drinking or recreational drug use in a way that like it, like, you know, the people that like it's like their whole personality,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just wouldn't be interested. And I also wouldn't be interested with somebody who like smokes or heavily drinks, because like every relationship I've been in, like I'm pursuing like what I'm planning to be long term. And the idea of you, like even right now, if you started indulging too much into anything, it would just be like, you're possibly limiting your time with me, and I'm not really cool with that.
Yeah.
So it's like just not something I'd be interested in. Like we just talked about, mean to servers, mean to other people, lying, cheating, loyalty, like just like a lack of loyalty, a lack of integrity, like any of those things that would just make me be like even to the people who just lie about dumb stuff. Like, why are you lying about that?
Yeah.
Just tell the truth.
I'm the worst liar.
Good.
I just can't.
We've never really dealt with lying to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's like even throughout like our younger years, like, yeah, there was like tries of like omission and just like, I didn't want to tell you this, but there was nothing that never actually like came out, or once it was directly asked, like, okay, I need the answer on this, that it was ever like, okay, this is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be able to be with somebody who was dishonest. Like, just even if I just saw them be dishonest about small things at work, like, no, I didn't do that, but I saw you did. Like, if you lie about that,
Yeah.
like, what else will you lie about? And so, I mean, I feel like all the qualities I'm just naming is just like, you can't be a bad person.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you lie, if you cheat, if you're dishonest, if you lack integrity, like, those just aren't things that I could consider.
Mm-hmm. I've kind of just been like going through my head. So let's see. Does it feel different after giving birth?
Interesting. Because we've had both scenarios. We've had C-section for one, and we've had regular delivery for giant head. But yeah, it does. I specifically remember the first time after, I was like, oh, it feels different.
You're like, is this forever?
Yeah, it was a thought that crossed my mind. I was like, I wonder like how that works. And then it got back to normal.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm
yeah,
glad you
it does.
didn't say anything then.
Huh?
Glad you didn't say anything then, though.
No, there'd be no reason. But it was like noticeable to where I was just like, oh, okay. Like,
That sucks.
well, I mean, like, it's the same way, like, after you have kids, your body goes through so much. If I were to ever be upset about any of it, the stretch marks or what it did to your boobs or anything like that, then I shouldn't have wanted to have kids.
Yeah. Exactly.
What should I expect after what I just watched?
Yeah.
After, like, I wasn't like up near your head, you know, I was just like, this is super interesting. And like, well, I don't know what I expect. Your stomach got like this big from, you know, he's a big baby. Well, I mean, no.
I got huge for both of them.
Yeah. So it's just like, I don't know what I would expect. Like, if you hold that against your partner, then you're just kind of a shitty person.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was different. Got back to normal relatively quickly as far as I can remember, because I remember being like, oh, it's kind of like normal now. So
good. Went out with some of my single friends the other night, and I got some questions lined up from them.
Okay.
Does it matter if I've hooked up with people you're already connected to, friends, cousins, family members, etc., before we got together?
For sure matters. How much it matters depends on the situation, probably. So, like, would I have wanted to date you if you had like also like dated like my best friend? Probably not. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you, but God, that'd just be like a that would just be an awkward situation to deal with.
Yeah.
Like my best
'Cause you don't
friend
want to
has
miss out, but
right. But like also at the same time, like my relationship, that first one, she had dated one of my better friends, but I liked her. So so that's why I said it depends.
and
You know, like
how it ended, maybe.
yeah, it was. I remember some of my friends giving me shit because it's like that was his ex, and it's like I'm aware, right? And you know, like I'm not being dishonest about it, and I like her, so I mean, like it for sure does matter. But like I said, I think it depends. Like we live in a very small town, as an example. You know, if you're dating right now, you are very likely going to date somebody who has dated somebody you know.
For sure.
So at that point, you wouldn't be able to hold it against them because we live in a very, very small town.
Yeah.
Now, you know, if somebody like was with your brother for a very long time, that might be kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I guess the answer is like, yes, it matters, but how much does it matter? You have to be reasonable about it. Like, I don't like the idea of you having ever been with anybody.
No.
Be honest.
No.
But I need to be realistic about it.
Yeah.
Like it happened, and then would it be tougher if it's like my best friend shared that type of intimacy or whatever with you, and now it's like with me? It's just no, it'd bother me for sure. I would just have to decide or be reasonable about how much I'm going to be letting it impact, you know, my decision on pursuing you.
I just wanted to be quiet for a minute because I feel like I heard something, but like a child.
Could be a child. Fun fact, everybody. We do this at night because it's the only time we can do it while the kids are asleep.
I feel like they would get louder by now.
Yeah.
So I think we're okay. The other friend question was, how important is clean prep before anal?
Jesus. I think anytime you are doing anything with anything, in anything, you should be as clean and sanitary as possible. Yep.
The end.
Yeah. I think it'll be appreciated by both parties, and I think being safe and clean is the best option. Yep.
Always be clean.
Always be clean.
Do men mean it when they say their girlfriend or wife looks better without makeup?
Oh, I hope so. I mean it, and everybody I know means it. And it's not that it's a drastic example like she looks better with no makeup compared to a lot of makeup. It's just usually like you throw some eyeliner and some mascara on, that's probably fine, right? But I would like to say, yes, absolutely. There is trends in LA right now with a lot of procedures, a lot of lip fillers, a lot of...
That's scary.
Yeah, there's a lot of things right now that I'm concerned about with the perpetuating the culture of what we think women should look like.
Especially
and I would
having
like
a daughter.
Yeah. I would like to believe that it's not men pushing these. I think, and I could be wrong, but I think it's equal, if not also women pushing the ideals and standards of what to expect out there from every guy I know that I talk to. Every guy I know, it's they prefer like a natural look or just how you look right now. It's a very small bit of makeup.
Yeah.
And that looks better to me than times where you've gotten like a lot put on by a friend and you've even sent me something. And again, we're honest, good communication. And I was just like, yeah, I don't like it. And it was just like, it was like a lot of white on the cheeks and it was a lot of blue, blue blush, I guess. And then your lips were like red. So it was like red, blue. And I was like, no offense. It kind of like reminds me of like a clown. Yeah. Cause it was like very white, like a lot of powder or something. And then it was like blue.
I think it's like the highlighter.
And then it was like red.
Yeah.
So it was just like, I just saw your face,
eyebrows,
all white, blue, red. Oops. And I was just like, yeah, I'm sorry, but.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that like fill in their eyebrows a lot too, to where they just look like, I don't know. Like I don't fill in my eyebrows.
I guess I don't really understand it from like, I understand like I want to look my best going to this thing. because I want to put the best version of myself forward to somebody who I feel like is putting the best version of themselves forward. Obviously, guys don't have to do as much, but like
Yeah, you guys
he's gonna be
got it good.
We do, but like, if I'm going to pursue dating you, I don't want you to look that much different.
Yeah. I don't want you to look like a different person.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I am an advocate for minimal amount of makeup.
Mm-hmm.
I am just from a standpoint that, like, I think women are beautiful in general. I don't think you need any of that. Not
there
any.
There are people that will, like, I've seen it about Sabrina Carpenter and maybe Sydney Sweeney. I don't remember. But they're like, this is how women look. Like, they're just so
and it's just a
ugly,
picture of somebody like at the beach, and I'm just like, she just looks like a fucking girl, buddy. Like, do you not like girls? Like I'll see things like that, and they'll just be like, this is what girl. And it's like, have you ever dated a girl?
Have you seen a girl?
Yeah. Have you ever like just not been on a first or been past a first date? Like, this is what girls look like, buddy. This is normal. Like, not everything is a photo shoot. And then we get into the standards of touch-ups and editing in photos, which also isn't good either. And filters. Yeah, like, it's just,
they're so bad.
Look how you look.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate the natural look, and I always will, and I hope more people do, and I hope we get away from this lip injection, and I need my my cheekbones to be the right, like, yeah, I need the cheekbones, and I need this buccal fat or whatever it's talking about, like, down, and I need my jaw to be, like, relax, buddy. Yeah. Just do a reasonable amount of taking care of yourself. A reasonable amount. Yeah. Right? Don't have to work out every day. Don't have to restrict your calories down to 800. Like, just do a reasonable amount of taking care of yourself, and that should be enough for the person you're going to be with. Yeah. You're going to get older anyway at some point. So it's like, you can only do so much, and I think I would appreciate you looking older than fake.
For sure.
Now, if you get older and you get a little something done here and there, whatever, right? Not shaming it, but I just don't want you to
down a boob lift. No.
Right. There are things that people can do, and I respect it, but I just don't want it to, like, especially since we talk about we have a daughter. I would be so disappointed if she grew up and felt like she needed to do something to make her lips bigger or something to make her face more slim, or, like, you are beautiful. Yeah. And it's like, well, it's her dad. Like, it would devastate me if she felt like she wasn't good enough for the standards of other girls, because culturally we push these unreasonable expectations, which are even going to men. Like, so it's not just about women. Yeah. Like, I'm glad there's been men who have taken a stand lately that are just like, yo, I'm not dehydrating my body after working out on like a strict diet regimen for the past 4 months just for this one bath scene where I then dehydrate my body for 48 hours so that way my muscle literally sticks to my body. They literally look like you, if you've got anybody who ever watched UFC, those dudes, when they go on those scales because they've dehydrated their body to lose like 14 pounds, that way they can weigh in 14 pounds higher. It's and they drop from like 170 down to 155, so they are shredded. That is not how people look. No. You should never look at that and be like, damn, I want to look like that. Nobody looks like that. Yeah. They don't even look like that. They only look like that right now for an hour. And then the second they rehydrate their body, it adds, not bloating back, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get that, like, because when you don't have the water volume in your body, it makes your skin a little thinner and it sticks to your muscles more. So if I were to just like not drink water and just like, like fast and diet right now, like my abs would be, and if I took a picture right then and was like, oh, this is what I look like. No, it's not. Yeah. That's not what I look like on a daily basis because I eat, but I still take care of myself. Like that's what I hope. That's what I hope we get away from. I hope we get away from this Hunger Games capital looking style of culture that we think we need to push on young people, and we just get to a point where people can just do a little bit of working out, right? If you're a girl, do some squats if you want a bigger butt, and just like eat reasonably healthy, right? And you'll be fine. You don't even have to restrict your calories or do any of these stupid diets. Just eat reasonably well. Focus on what you're eating. Drink a reasonable amount of water, get like 7 hours of sleep, and you will be a completely fine, beautiful person for the person you're trying to date. It makes me so angry.
Agreed. Who should pay the bill on a first date?
Me. my wife has paid for a date for us before. I didn't have money, long story short, coming out of Florida. And she did want to come out, and I had already told her the story, and I was like, I'm really trying to catch up on this like 25 grand in debt. I'm literally restricting my spending to nothing. So I don't think I should go out. And she's like, I'll pay for you. I want to see you. And I just decided like, okay, because I wanted to see her too. And I thought it was I thought it was worse off of a moment to not accept that kindness from her. And I didn't think she would judge me in any way. But no. I do think more often than not, girls do want the guy to ask them out, plan the date. And I think if you plan the date, you are the one that is expected to pay the bill.
Yeah.
If I'm asking you out, I'm taking you out, I'm paying the bill. Don't even expect that you're going to split it. If you offered, I wouldn't be insulted. I would be like, I expected to this. I budgeted in this date because I planned it, so I'd prefer to pay. I wouldn't fight you over it. If you were like, I would like to pay half, it would be like, okay. Mm-hmm. But I think whoever plans the date expects to pay.
Yeah.
And
Makes sense.
And I think more often than not, men plan the dates. I don't think, as an example, if I ever planned the date, that you should expect to even be paying half. I'm the one asking you to come out. Mm-hmm. Right? So if I don't know your financial situation, I'm the one asking you to come out. I should have it taken care of. Yeah. Because like, what if I invited you out and I'm going to bring you to somewhere fancy?
Yeah.
And you don't have the money to pay for half of, you know, some 200. And I mean, God, even going to hibachi is like $130 for us, just for two of us.
I know.
So it's like, I could never like be like, you want to go out? We'll go get hibachi or something like that on a first date. And I invite you out and I'm like, oh, can you grab half of this $120 bill?
Yeah.
Right now, if you plan the date, you're paying.
Yeah.
That's it.
That makes sense. Is doing the deed always on a man's mind?
Probably, but it depends on how often they're getting it.
Yeah.
So like, I'm a bad example because I went from 16 years old, 4 or 5 year relationship, healthy, intimate life, to 15-year relationship, healthy, intimate life. I've never been without it.
Yeah.
So if it was like, do you think about it every day, all the time? God, no. Like I don't have time. Like I'm thinking about, like I said, when I was sitting there talking about what I'm thinking about, it wasn't sex, right? It was everything but, and then, we're also parents, which restricts the amount of time we have to think or even want to think about it. So, it's probably completely dependent. If I wasn't getting, I'd probably think about it all the time, to be honest with you. Like if we weren't doing it, or if I was single, it would probably be one of the main things I think about. So, yep, I just think that's just what we're driven to do. That's just what we're driven to think about from an evolutionary standpoint. And so I would say the less you do it, definitely the more you think about it. The more you do it, the less you think about it, because it's just a natural part of your day.
Yeah, fair enough. What are we at? How much time do I have for questions?
I don't remember what time we started.
Me
so we're just gonna
maybe like 2 more.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you believe once a cheater, always a cheater?
If the cheating was early on when they were younger, probably not. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We've already talked about multiple times that I hate cheaters.
Yeah.
If you cheated on like a spouse, if you cheated on somebody that you planned to be a life partner, a fiance, a multi-year relationship, and you did it, you hid it, you let, something develop, any of the above, I think it's much more likely that you will follow those same habits in the future. Like I would, like if Caroline was dating somebody and he had cheated on his previous wife, I'd be concerned. If she was like, he cheated a few times when he was younger, blah, 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 7, 8, 9 years ago when he was like 18, 19, 20, and he's 30, I'd be less concerned. Right. I wouldn't love it at all, but I would be much less on the, if he's a cheater, he's always a cheater.
Yeah.
But there's a difference.
If you're a grown man or woman and you're very committed and you make that choice, then
it's the worst thing you can do. So I mean, like I don't respect it anyway. I just hate it. So I won't double down and say once one, always one.
Yeah.
I think there is outliers, but I still am just so against it, that the fact that you could even do that to somebody that's supposed to be the most important person in your life, and you're just too much of a coward to leave, or whatever the reason is. I don't know. I just have no respect for people who cheat. So
Let's end with what are your thoughts on toys in the bedroom, specifically for couples?
they're good. No issues. I think there's a stigma around guys who get insecure about it or whatever. I don't see why.
Yeah. I
If you're
some
just
people, I think,
enhancing the
are-
experience for your partner, that's just objectively a W.
Mm.
Like, if it's going to make the experience better for both, you don't need to get insecure about some super vibrating thing. Like, buddy, you can't do that. It's all right, right? You can't do what that thing can do. That's
Yeah,
okay. It's
that's
supplemental. That's fine. Relax. Like, just
Yeah, I
give
feel
them a
like-
good time. That's the goal, right?
Yeah, some people get like intimidated or insecure.
Self-conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. That's what they're made for.
Yep.
But yeah, especially like now if it was, your significant other's using it alone all the time, I could see why it's like,
Yeah.
oh damn, right? But like included as a couple, sure.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
Bring it on. Right, I think that's all of them, unless you're
No.
anything else.
No, I think keeping it short, concise.
Yeah, I feel like it's good.
I think the difference between like these videos, obviously we've gone through the first two, which have been, more about our lives. The second two, which have been, more about like asking each other questions, interview style. I still don't think this is exactly how the future ones will go. I think the future ones will be not as streamlined to like one or the other, but like I think there's good ideas around like reading stuff from Reddit, like am I the asshole questions, like about people in different relationship situations. There's probably a good amount of podcast content that we can create around children, parenting,
Yeah, for sure.
parenting trends, raising kids in this day and age. A lot of the stuff right now has been around dating and whatnot. And I do think we have a unique perspective, a little bit of ignorance because we lack the dating experience, but I do think it's very rare to find 30-something-year-olds that have been together for 15 years who are now actively talking about what's okay in life, what's okay for you, what's okay for me. If there's any like even just generalization or summary from like the past 2 episodes, it's just like y'all got to work on communicating.
Yeah.
Communication
is key.
Be honest. I don't know how I want to say it. Be as kind and honest as you can be.
Yeah.
Like, don't lie. If something's not good right now, don't let it not be good. If you're not being treated right, don't let yourself not be treated right. Like, I am kindly going to tell you the way you are treating me right now is not acceptable.
Yeah.
You're going through some stuff. You're kind of taking it on me. I want to help, but it's really hard for me to want to help when you're treating me like this, right? Just be kind and firm and honest. Like, if people just actually talked, I guarantee, like actually talked, like sat down and I want to make your life better. You want to make my life better. Why are we not doing that? It would solve like 99% of people's problems.
Yep.
But they just don't. They hide stuff,
Yeah.
or they're
And
just
you
like,
can't-
nothing's going to change. And then that creates resentment, and resentment leads to contempt. And then contempt is basically a guaranteed indicator of divorce.
Yeah.
I just want to see people have our relationship. Like I really do.
Same.
If people had our relationship, the world would be such a better place.
Agreed.
Everyone's getting laid more. So everyone's less upset, which means they're probably better
They're
at their
just
jobs.
happier.
They're probably getting more sleep, right?
Yep. Yep.
Imagine like a life where
I mean,
like
we
just
don't
like
get great sleep, but I don't anyway.
you say that, but like in comparison,
To the past, yeah. It's a lot
no,
better.
I'm saying like in comparison to other people. There are other people who are like actively talk about I get 3 to 4 hours a night.
Oh yeah, that's
We are in bed for about 8 hours a night. You're like, yeah, maybe I'll get 6-ish
Yeah.
and could
it's
feel a
just
little
the
bit
wake
better.
ups.
Yeah,
and
we have
the
kids.
Broken sleep.
Kids are in our room.
Yeah.
That's a whole separate conversation. That's a whole separate topic.
Yeah.
Um,
And
you-
also to go back on that, like you can't be a doormat. Like you have to hold people accountable. You have to hold your partner accountable, and you can't just like be a doormat because that's going to lead to resentment as well.
don't be a doormat. Choose your battles. Some things genuinely are not worth even continuing to discuss or fighting about. There's some times where it's just like, okay, you felt disrespected by this, I get it, but this conversation is stupid. Not like the disrespect was stupid, like you're arguing about like what way to drive home.
Yeah.
okay, we're whatever. Can we just stop talking? Like, right?
Right.
Just stop it. Stop talking about it. Or you guys arguing about like, well, I asked this for whatever, and you're mad about, the person didn't hear you, and no, I did hear. Right? Just, I'm telling you, pick your battles.
Yes.
Make sure you actually talk about the ones that need to be resolved. Skip the ones that are don't listen to people who don't tell you to go to bed angry. If you guys are fighting about something stupid, don't fight tired. Don't fight hungry. Don't any of these things. Right? Just skip those
so
moments.
hungry right now.
I know, yeah. Like it's like, oh, I'm really hungry right now and we're tired. We should hash out this conflict we had earlier. Like, yeah, that sounds great. That sounds like it's going to be good.
Not.
Also, if you can help it, don't fight over text. I think we had that conversation in the other thing. Like, it's so hard to navigate intent through text. Like, oh, they put in okay and then a period. Like, oh, great, here we go. Right? It's not good. And then you even know in the back of your head you're kind of like taking a shot by putting that period, but then you're like, oh, it's just the word okay. Yeah, just relax, buddy. I just want people to have better relationships. I hope through this podcast we help people have better relationships. That would be amazing. That's what I like about content the most is the amount of times people come into stream and they're like, yo, your stream really helped me through these times. We talked about finances. I've made like a lot of really good financial decisions because of the conversations we've had here. I've made better decisions as a parent, as a friend. If these conversations and whatnot help people have better relationships, that'll probably be like the best thing we can get out of this aside from
that would be really
hopefully
cool.
supplemental income.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully being successful in this will be great. If it's not, is what it is. But if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. If you guys haven't hit the notification bell to let us know or for YouTube to let you know when we're going live, do it. We're live every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got like shorts coming out every day probably at this point. But that's going to do it for episode 4. We will see you guys next episode where I currently don't have a plan, but we'll have one. We'll have more stuff. We'll have more content coming. We still have the Let's Get Deep questions, which we said last episode that if we get 10,000 subscribers, we will do that question. Those questions are very personal, like very personal. Like you guys might hear some stories that I wasn't really planning to tell, and we can possibly pursue telling those. If we get 10,000 subscribers, we'll be conscious of people's privacy, our privacy, et cetera, but yeah, we'll answer those the best we can, and I think it'll be pretty interesting. So, we'll see you guys next Thursday. Goodbye.
Bye.